Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the bald-headed black man, the man that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. Here's Victor Alice, New Sports, hot, neo-urban. Here he is. Here's Vic. Yeah. Back is back.
I actually realized something, you guys, and welcome to New Sports. I went out to do a survey, and they said that is not a term that women use in reference to that you're stimulating black men. They said, no, any black man that we sit back and think they're black, we call them chocolate. But it doesn't mean...
I've never been called sexual chocolate, Vic. You know, for those of us who've never been called sexual chocolate, it kind of like irks us when you people who've been called sexual chocolate fail to understand the privilege. Right, I wish they would call me some sexual anything.
You people.
Sexual chocolate. They call me used to be.
That's cold, man. That's a good one. I like that one. Hey, you know what? I appreciate any names that give you not only the time and energy that you want to call me. That means I'm somewhere in your brain.
That's right. Huh?
And I guess that's some value in this day and age. But welcome to what we call the element of New Sports, where it's really just a couple of us in the room. And we're going to talk about sports, and I'm going to ask a question first because I think some of the topics we're going to cover may not be addressed today because I think you guys already know about them. One is I alluded to something about Chad Johnson. Don't put yourself on the stage of a corporate show that's surrounded in sports, and then, of course, you know you're making yourself available for conversation about domestic violence. That's a fine line in how it works. Number two is that, you know, basketball, NBA, there's only a couple of teams you want to pay attention to, and that's either the Heat, because they're the current champions, or the Lakers, because they just happen to be the team you hate. And then also, I want to find out, which is my lead story here. The lead story is, should you go quail hunting with your friend? Is it, for whatever reason, look at my blue screen, it's just all of a sudden going out on me. Is it one of those things where you say, is it a sport? Now, I'm going to ask that first.
There's a little teeny bird.
Wait a minute.
They're like so little.
But there's accuracy.
Can't even eat them.
There's accuracy. What's up, Norm? Norm's in the room. When your friend, and I'm gonna put this a different way because I know everybody's going like, well, nobody's following this. I mean, we don't know why you're going there. Well, what I wanted to do is tell you that the Cubs manager, you know, I call it blame it on the Quail. So when you say blame it on the Quail, you know, Robin Yount, former All-Star baseball player, is the friend of our wonderful Cubs manager. I believe his name is Dale. I believe it's pronounced. I may be wrong. Sveum. I can't remember. I'm killing it.
Let's see if I can help you.
Yeah, it's going to to be hard, man.
No, you have to go I can't help you.
No, it's hard. No, you can't.
Some of those names, I can't, because it's the native language. You can't get it.
You can't touch this name. All I know is it's Dale Sveum. The S may be silent. It may be
so they went hunting with the owner.
Well, here's the part. See, the hard part is, of course, Robin Yount shot Dale.
No, in the ass.
It was accidental.
Where'd he shoot him?
He was shooting in the ear.
He shot him in the ear, so he could have hit him in the face or the eye.
Thank you. So here's the let me say it because I'm doing a slow lead up on this. The reason why I'm saying this is that Dale's account is this. He says they're going quail hunting. So first, before we go to him, I want to know, is quail hunting a sport?
No.
Okay, so all right.
I mean, sport.
It's a sport.
I guess sport hunting, I mean, it can be. I guess it can be. Killing can be a sport.
Right.
Killing can be a sport to some folks.
Yes. And I'm not.
Now, when you're hunting to feed yourself, I don't think that's different. I don't equate that to say.
I'm not here to even.
Yeah, because I watch those wilderness shows. I'm all about hunting to eat.
Right. So the bottom line is, the question is it a sport? Now, number one, I got a couple of conditions here. Let me just tell you what happened first. Quail hunting. There's always somebody who's going out in front. What's the first rule?
Why can't we hunt side by side? See, if I'm a hunt, here's the thing.
Wait a minute.
See, me and PMC are out hunting. I say, well, PMC, go up in front a little bit.
Right.
Hey, Norm. So you, and PMC, so we say, hey, PMC, walk up in front a little bit.
See what I want.
So what does the PMC do? He goes, okay, I'll go walk up in front. He don't even ask why or anything. So then we get shot in the ass.
Well, see, you're close to it. You're close to it. You know, the interesting part of this story, and you know what? It can always have holes. He got holes in it. I know. It has holes in it sometimes. Look, the man, when you're excited about something, you don't think. So Dale is going out in front, 50 yards ahead.
See, that's
wait a minute. The reason he gave that Robin, now I want you guys to look at Robin. Robin looks like not the baseball player he once was. He looks like a politician. He's at the bottom.
And he doesn't. Does he hunt quail all the time?
Yes, I assume they are. I'm assuming so because they didn't give the story that they do it all the time.
All right.
So here he is, 50 yards ahead. The quail jumps out the bush, and so Dale's account of it is all of a sudden he said, "I think Robin lost where the quail was going," and when he realized, he said somehow or another they lost. You know, the periphery on where the quail is. He even said, uh-oh, to himself. When I think he lost sight, and he says, if I lost sight, I know you think about it. Well, that means Dale.
Why is he out in front?
Well, Dale is already in a position to go, uh-oh, and the bullet or the pellets hit his ear. Now, at that point, now, Marv, watch this. Watch this. Do you go out quail hunting again with your friend?
No. First of all, that's a sign. That's a sign. Whenever life like kicks you in your ass, it's at least means you should pay attention. At the least, right? I'm not saying what the message may be,
right?
But it's at least trying to like get your attention now. You didn't lose any limbs.
Yeah, right.
Like, so he didn't lose an eye.
Right.
He didn't lose a limb.
He didn't.
So he had a scary experience, right?
And I'm trying to figure out, because the conditions are always the same in this sport, or if you want to call it, or activity. Man, you're right, side by side. But let me say this to you about side by side people. You know, you get excited. Say if you're 10 feet on my left.
Mm-hmm. That's too far.
Right.
That's still too far.
Wait a minute.
No. How about when some people some Negroes don't shoot? I'm staying right. I'm going to have some other folks. I'm telling everybody where I am, too.
Wait a minute.
Putting it on GPS.
Wait a minute. Okay. Let's just say, because it's always this thing where they go like, okay, so you can account for every move. So what I'm saying here, and so you guys know this, I'm trying to realize, is there a safety zone when you have two excited men, mostly, going hunting? And they say,
why are you excited?
What they say?
Why are they excited? What are they excited about?
Scream out bird. Now, most people go by sight, right? But there's always somebody who's caught in the middle of something. They may be checking their gun and then looking through the scope. And they say, quail or bird. And he says, where? To the left. You're to the left.
Boom.
He shoots. You can't account for every situation.
There's some idiot. We all know friends that are idiots. We all have friends that are idiot friends. So where we love them.
Okay,
we all got some.
Now let me say this. I don't know if we can put this in a category, but you know our categories for new sports is referenced by, you know, ballin', big pimpin', letdown, upset, something for the ladies, AARP, of course, spank that ass, and it's how it's appropriated. I mean, how it's appropriate to spank that ass. Is this just a straight letdown? There's not a category called idiot.
It should be.
It should be.
This is AARP.
It is. You got
this
it.
This is Robin Yount.
Yes.
Y'all stupid.
That's right.
Don't play with dynamite either.
Right.
Some shit Vic, and that's not a story, but I heard some crazy story that somebody was getting suspended, a couple of ball players, because they were playing around and built a bomb. Not to really do anything with it, just to have fun.
Right. I don't know about all
it was,
the
I
details.
think it was a college. I think it was some college players, wasn't it?
I can't recall.
Somebody said in the news. We'll get back to you about that. But I'm just saying.
Right.
Stupid. See, stupid. Some people.
Right.
Okay, I can tell you right now. Don't we all have friends that if they say, "Hey, let's go hunt," you go, "Oh hell no." Oh hell no.
Right.
Hell no. Don't even ask me. What are you out of you? Hell no. And how are you even going hunting?
Right.
Now, I'm about to call the police right now and warn everybody.
Right.
Rodney's coming and he's hunting.
And you know what? And you know what? I got to give it to you, PMC, because I was going to bring up one of these conditions. I don't want to bring up his name, but the example of Dick Cheney. When it can happen to a very powerful man,
right.
He noticed that you get reduced
to health benefits.
Right. You got reduced to the position of your political affiliation, all the power, everything in the moment is being left to an individual who is just as human as the everyday person. They flinch, they have flashes, they have moments, they're trigger happy, they're energized. And aren't we in positions where sometimes our hand is on the trigger? I always said this before. Have you ever got a cramp in your hand? Mario, have you ever got a cramp? Just caught a cramp in your fingers or something. It's just
that's not usually what I get by. But yeah, I had it.
All right,
I know what you mean.
You're right. I'm not going there.
I bet. See,
I can't.
But PMC probably get hand cramps because he's married.
Wait a minute. Okay, PMC, I'm gonna take your word. Look, let me say this. This is my suggestion. My whole thing is,
I got you,
if you can get cramps in your arms, you can get cramps in your legs, you can get cramps in your hand. Now imagine your hands on the trigger. Imagine that you're not ready to shoot. And imagine that all of a sudden your muscles, just constrict. Well, there's all kinds of things that happen. So the thing I'm saying is,
like Norman could get a cramp in them heels. Right. All of a sudden his calves tighten all up.
Right. Let me
say
this.
Toes get all crampy.
Let me say this. All I'm saying is, if both of you guys, both of you wonderful hunters, that's what you're doing, get home to your special significant one, you should tell them to spank your ass.
Right.
Because
take the gun away.
Right.
Take the gun away. Go get another hobby. Get Lincoln logs or something. I don't know.
Yeah. This is one where you say, I'll be glad to get my ass whooped for being alive long enough to turn around and say, if that gun was just a few inches over.
Like I said.
A few inches over. He doesn't know. Wake up call, man.
Children and fools. That's the Lord protects them.
That's right.
The Lord is protecting them.
And just so you guys know, let's see if, when we look at these pictures, let's see if our Cubs manager has a winning season this upcoming baseball term 2013. And Robin will probably be looking for another buddy. But anyway.
Let's go. Hell no, Robin.
Right, that's it.
First of all, your name is Robin and you out shooting quail.
Right. So Mario says AARP, I say get home and have somebody spank that ass. So we were both on the same page here, really. All right, I'm going to go to the next one because there were two games that happened yesterday, one probably more significant than the other, but we're going to find out how bad was it, how bad is it, or how bad could it be. Two what we call popular teams in basketball lost yesterday. Now, Miami Heat lost, of course, to the Wizards.
And I alerted you.
That's right.
I said, Vic.
He sure did.
I said, the Wizards are up by 10.
Yeah, and I said, they're going to just turn it on.
And they did. They did turn it on. Vic said they're going to turn it on. And like when Vic said it, they turned it on.
Right.
So Vic and I went back to something else. And when we went back to talk about something else, then turn around and boom.
No, and that's why I said.
And they said that Vic, they did what you've been talking about.
Yes.
The announcers were actually, I was like, oh, this is what Vic has been preaching. On a given day, the youthful athleticism is what led the way. Yep. That's what allowed them to go head to head. They upped the ante and they ran and went, let's play in the sky.
Straight ball.
And when they do that,
all day.
Some of the players, they look like they look winded.
Right. It's equalizer. It's an equalizer. It really is. And that's why I'm saying Miami took a hit on something, but they may have a reason. I'm not giving them an excuse for this, but I'm saying they lost against the worst team in the league. So that's embarrassing because you're the current NBA championship.
That's wonderful.
Right.
I loved it.
Of course
I love to watch the big ones lose to the little ones.
Right.
Every now and then you need to lose. And you know what was the cracking up? Did you hear what they said when they asked LeBron? They asked him, so what did it say this law? Hey, we didn't say shit. They didn't say nothing. It's just a game. He was like, he was like, you could tell he was like,
all right.
It doesn't say anything.
No, it doesn't. He handled it like a seasoned veteran. He actually said it's nothing.
Very good.
And there's a caveat to this story, but I'm going to go to the next loss because it may or may not. We're going to judge. We both know these are letdowns, so we don't have to go there. We're just going to find this is an additional qualifier because I think Washington, did they upset the Heat? Yes, they did. Okay, now let's go to the Lakers. Lakers, by leading up by even between 13 and 17 points against the Houston Rockets, taking on the road. We already had covered. We already covered. I'm not gonna pay attention to you, man, because I know what you're doing. You know what? I'm not paying attention to you.
They're dogging
So
it.
they lead. They go into Houston. Of course, the same thing. They do the attention of fouls against D. Howard. He basically can come up about 50% on his shots. They lose while leading the game predominantly.
Yeah.
What's the more telling loss? The Lakers against the Rockets or the Heat against the Wizards? Who's telling the story of the team that really needs to be concerned, Mario?
The Lakers against the Rockets. You could throw out the Heat against the Wizards. You could just throw it out.
Right.
On any given night, with the right kind of heart,
Right.
when the other person can't achieve that, we've seen it happen at all, and that's the part of that's what we love about sports.
Right.
On any given moment, your strength of your spirit and conviction can lift you over a better person.
Right.
And we love to see that happen. No, and even though I'm not saying that it's all so telling for the Lakers.
Right.
I'm not actually saying that. I just think it's going to be a struggle for the Lakers.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of a struggle that they still, to me, at least have it's reasonable when it's up to you to step up.
Right.
Because that's a conditioning push thing. So
Right.
it still comes into that zone where you can push yourself.
Right.
And all of us who've been athletes know what that means. You can push that extra
Right.
thing. But it's just the fact that they had to, Vic, and that people don't see them in the same way.
True.
People just don't see them. So at some point in time, I think, even though I think it gets into your head. That's what I'm saying. Now, and I think it gets into your head too early.
Right.
But I think that it's going to start to get into their head. Because at least in the press, the way they're responding doesn't seem to be totally appropriate. Does Dwight Howard's responses seem to be
Well, you know what?
appropriate kind of something?
I mean, first of all, if you know Dwight Howard, I accept him for who he is.
And he always has done that. He's always been
so
okay.
I'm not, and I think that you look.
He always says kind of the softly wrong thing.
Is
it's
he
not overtly wrong,
right.
but it's sort of.
Is he a better investment than Bynum right now?
Oh, hell yeah.
So
hell yeah.
And would you take him on any team?
You got
with
away
his
with
faults?
that one.
Right. Is there a better center right now who's producing as number one over D. Howard right now? And he's still trying to get back to
I don't
shape.
know that. I
Yeah.
don't know that. I'd have to go look at that because
Gasol is the closest right now because
in the league,
as it relates to production, not the defense and all the other intangibles, they're just saying while D. Howard's coming up, Gasol is already making Memphis right now. They're ranked like the number one team in the league right now at this point.
excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't know you meant him.
Yeah.
I thought you meant
Paul.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
yeah,
no.
Mark, right.
Mark.
No, yeah, he is right now, right.
He is
right, that's what I'm saying.
Producing, but
That's what
at
I'm
a
saying.
healthy level right now.
Right, but there's some other folks I wonder about. I'd have to go see what they're
Right.
doing. I'm not sure. I'm wondering about some other folks.
Right. At
At
center.
center.
It's not many. It's a few. No
Yeah,
one's
because
producing.
We're in the era of the non-center,
right?
kind of,
or
in the NBA.
Or the evolving center not being resigned to have that same, I'm the big man, slow the game down, throw it into me, the speed and everything else.
Because you need the faster game.
Right.
That's right.
So I'm saying D. Howard, I'm not surprised about what he's doing. Plus, he's what I call really rehabbing his way back into a team he's never played with. So the Lakers get this. It takes time for new members on the team to gel. You can't do that. It's very hard to do it in the offseason.
Well, we say the same.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think there will be better. What happens, they will be better at gelling and know the schemes, but will they be better in defense when legs get older? That's the hardest part.
No, and will they be able to get it together enough to be a real contender? In other words, with Steve Nash coming, they got to work out all these things, right?
Right.
Then they still got to be ready to go against like Oklahoma and Memphis and the Clippers. I see that's where it gets kind of where you go like, it's not looking. I mean, even with them in the best, even in the best of circumstances, it looks like the Lakers can't pull it off.
Yeah.
If everything goes reasonably well,
Right.
it still doesn't look like they can pull it off.
Yeah, see what they're saying there. There are a number of glaring things that they have to address. Let me just say this, you guys. I wouldn't be happy at the performance level, but do you know how many games they would have won if they just hit the predominance of their free throws? Because they're losing games in close games, but their free throw shooting is like last in the league. They're not last, but at the bottom. And so what happens is you can actually say, here's the wins, but you'll say, you guys are still not coming together the way I thought.
Well, that's what,
and you don't have a true point
and
guard.
it was a true thing, but it just sounded so weird when Dwight Howard goes, well, we didn't lose.
Right.
Because I missed my free throws.
He did say that. And you know what? And let me say this. You know what? Here's the part that I love about what happens here. I'm watching teams who go like, we don't have the talent, we don't do this, but we hustle. What everybody's saying is, all it takes is one player on your team to be lagging on defense. The glaring spot that they're dealing with now is getting to know each other on defensive rotations. So it doesn't matter how well you produce offensively, because one, you can't outrun the team. So two, you have to be able to get back on defense. And so the holes are so glaring. What they're trying to figure out is it a conditioning problem or knowing your assignments? Well, now here it is.
Both.
You come in with the players that came before the beginning of the season are not the players that you were practicing with in totality. You got new players on the team. Different coach. Now the coach changes. Center's hurt. He has to come in much later, so he didn't have a chance to really gel with the scheme and the system with Mike Brown. Well, Mike, bam, he's already gone. He comes back in. So I think this is all a synergy thing. I think they will do better. My question is, can they deliver defensively? I don't care about the offensive stuff.
No.
Can they step it up?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, so let me say this.
No, they can be better, though.
Okay.
They're going to be better.
All right.
But no. And then even again, like you said, and other people say the same thing. When they bring back Steve Nash, that's not going to really help defensively, is it?
It's going to help the scheme, the offensive scheme.
All right, well, there you go.
They'll compete. Now, here's the question. This is it. We're going to try to be prognosticating over the entire year.
Oh.
Will they? This exits out of the subject. Will they be a letdown with the parts they have, or will they overachieve with the parts they have, Mark? Ballin.
No, it's gonna be sort of a letdown, even though I think, it's gonna be a letdown. Because I think realistically with the veteran thing, you would tend to want to expect a certain amount from the Lakers, and I just don't think you're going to get that.
Right.
Like you said, they look like the fourth or fifth best team, and so it's going to be a letdown because I think people's expectations are not realistic.
Right. And PMC, you're right. There's only two people who are playing that stalwart defense. You have three defensive people minded on the team, but it takes more than that. D. Howard's going to take up. He's a space. He's going to do it, and he's going to get better. Ron Artest likes to put his body. I love the shape that he's in, and he's scoring more, and he's more three-point.
So that's two. That's your two defensive players.
And Kobe, because Kobe, you need Kobe to do this, and I'm saying this. He's the number one scorer in the league. So what we're saying is, with more talent, he has to do more scoring
and more defense.
And how can he do more scoring to make up for the lack? To do more defense because the others are not doing it.
Yeah, you got to do all that.
So I'm saying his defense is in a different area, and plus he has to play the point guard like default. So his turnovers.
He's not going to play the point guard.
Well, he's playing the role of a point guard when they come across half court.
But I'm just saying.
I know.
Okay.
See, the problem is,
that's what we said. It's not going to work. Even though I think it's not bad. In other words, that's why they win a bunch of games, right?
Right.
Because on any given night, Kobe, Dwight Howard, Ron Artest, world meta.
Right.
Now you can put in a bunch of other people that still go win a bunch of nights, right? A bunch of nights,
That's
right?
right.
Just with those three,
right?
And actually, if they give their all, the Lakers' defensive numbers and things could work,
right?
If Powell runs himself into a better shape,
there you go.
Then the defensive things could all work.
Right.
So, but in the end, it's still not going to be enough to beat the best teams in the league. It cannot beat Oklahoma. They cannot beat the Clippers.
Right.
There's a number of people they can't beat Miami.
Right.
So we all naming a bunch of people, and there's more on the list that we think they can't beat.
Well, because you got San Antonio, who's showing you we got three elderly or AARP people on our team: Ginobili, Parker, and Duncan. And then they have role players around them who are hustlers and niche players, three-point shooters, guys who spot up, guys who say, I have my role. You got these role players that keep San Antonio youthful and also a better executing team. They may not overwhelm you in talent, but they're going to keep it close or they're going to be at the top near. Well, the Lakers mimic that. I said, you got your big three. What's happening with the role players? And this may have a lot to do with scouting.
Well, they
a lot of what they call the tradition. The Lakers' tradition is not to really have these role players like the days of Cooper and Magic.
But yeah, but that's still a decent bench. You know, I'm sorry that Blake is hurt. You know, because
I think they eat him alive.
Okay, but I mean, scoring wise, it gives you some stuff. You know what I'm saying? He still has depending how you use the people. That's what I'm saying for D'Antoni, though.
Yeah, backup
because he's a good shooter. You can steal the 3 points and other stuff.
Right. People are going to go like what you're saying, Mario, because they talked about it. They said you got Nash, who's 38, who's not going to intimidate nobody, and you got the backup Steve, who's not going to intimidate anybody. They say Steve ain't going to go to the hole. Remember, the point guard love. Right. Go watch Bledsoe and the L.A. Clippers.
No, but you don't have to with the other people that you're playing, though. That's not the offense. I don't need you to be going to the hole. Right. I need you to be setting up Dwight, Howard, Meta on certain things, and Kobe. Yeah, you don't need to have them going to the hole.
But wouldn't you want someone? Think of Chris Paul. The person who says, see, you want
that would have worked. That would have worked
right.
better.
See, you need a player.
No, that would have worked better.
You need a player like that to make people stay honest.
But I'm counting on in other words, I'm counting on that Nash, what he brings and what he has had, never was those things. So it always had to do with his ability to pull out people offensively and setting them up. Right. I'm still hopeful that coming down offensively, with him going at Kobe, Dwight. That should be formidable. If everybody did their stuff, it would be still formidable, but still not enough to beat the best teams in the league.
Yeah, it's going to be hard because it took Oklahoma years to develop their core. And when you do that, they have youth and time. Right. Lakers don't have that much time.
No, it looks good to win some games.
Yes.
But not enough to be a contender.
Yeah, like I said, be lucky if they come in fourth. I'm out of New Sports. Let's get out of here.
That's Victor Allen's New Sports. Hot Sexy, brought to you by the bald-headed black man, written and produced by Victor Allen. It's hot, it's sexy, it's sports.